to Anime Death Spiral, the only anime podcast organically grown, hand-picked, and lab-tested. We're coming at you again today, this week, following up on my promise to once again get back on track and talk about some of the new premieres in winter 2026 anime.
Premieres of what?
Premieres of the anime in anime 2026
anime.
winter.
Okay,
yeah.
anime premieres. Okay, I got it.
Because like Japanimation, as you may know it as.
Premieres.
Yeah.
Because, you know, with the streamers now, there are new television shows like every single day.
Yeah, don't I know it? There's too many TV shows. I'm just going to say that.
There are too many TV shows.
Yeah.
In one way, that is something I am grateful for anime. We get a nice, clean, kind of like 3-month set.
I mean,
I guess there are half-season premieres. I guess that's true. But
they drop
for the
a
most
half-season
part,
premiere every once in a while. But I've got to push back a little bit on your claim that we get nice, clean sets. We get curated sets based on what is actually getting an official like US release. You understand that there is so much more anime that just never makes it onto most people's like radar or attention. Even more so with manga and light novels. Like the ocean is vast out there. We're just getting a tiny drop. The stuff that is shoveled directly to us. You know, I just want to point that out.
I know things are not getting translated. Believe me, I know, because there are things I have looked for and I cannot. I mean, we talked about the Chow thing. There's no English translation for that yet, like driving me crazy. And there's been so many manga that I'm like, I desperately need to read this, but no translation group cared at all.
Well, you know, it makes it even harder when the stuff that we do get like an official port of or translation of port. I know. The stuff that we do get, it makes it even harder when like it's bad. We get a lot of bad stuff. I've come to notice. Maybe you'd like to weigh in on that.
Oh, we get so much bad stuff. Way bad stuff. Speaking of, My Hero Academia Vigilantes Season 2 premiered yesterday.
Yep.
Kind of a random release date, I guess. It's a little weird. I will not be watching. I read plenty of My Hero Academia. I really don't need to go back into that world.
I mean, I never got into it to begin with. It became a very big shonen in the years that I was like not really paying attention to manga or anime that much.
Yeah, I know. You don't give a shit at all.
Well, it's that, and it's also like this weird. I think that it's interesting in itself as a product of like another culture's view of what American style superheroes are like.
You mean the capification of
anime. I think that is like the one interesting aspect of it. But once you get past the fact that like, oh, they think that American superheroes are all like weirdos who dress dumb. Like once you get past that, it is just a shonen anime.
Well, that's Sentai too. It's just they all wear kind of the same thing.
Yeah. Hey, don't get me started on Power Rangers, man.
They get helmets.
I'm a diehard Power Rangers defender.
Oh, when are we going to get the gritty remake of that?
Dude, we got it.
Getting
How do you not remember that? We got it like 5-6 years ago? Seriously? Elizabeth Banks was in it. She played the villain.
It was a movie?
It was a movie, yeah.
No, I don't remember that at all.
And it was a movie that came out after...
Did not make a splash.
No, it sucked. It was really, really bad. And I say that it came out 5 or 6 years ago. It came out more like 10 years ago.
Yeah, you're crazy.
I know. And this is after Adi Shankar did his like weird YouTube bootleg universe channel where he did his own like super gritty Power Rangers pitch. And
man,
he
I'm
did
sick
it.
of that guy.
Yeah, I'm so sick of it.
Sick of that guy.
Devil May Cry was so fucking bad. Anyway, I'm getting off course here. I did not engage with My Hero Academia at all when it was the most popular thing, and I feel nothing towards vigilantes at all, other than the fact that it's kind of interesting that they made a show based off of the loser heroes. I mean, I think that's...
You mean vigilantes? You're talking about specifically vigilantes.
I'm talking about specifically vigilantes.
Okay.
No, not the regular loser heroes from My Hero Academia.
Yeah, they had so many third stringers in the main show that they were spilling over into a spinoff. I mean, it really was. That was they could not go 2 or 3 chapters without introducing yet more tertiary characters. It was wild.
And hey, I
get why they had an entire spillover show.
As I get it. It is coming up with characters and their wacky powers is the fun part. Finding something for them to do in the story sucks, and usually the end result sucks. But from a creative standpoint, just coming up with the characters and what they look like and the powers, that's the fun part. So I get why there's so many.
That is the fun part. But one solved this in One Punch Man, right?
Yeah.
Because you don't need the backstory or anything other than a couple of lines from each one of these guys. You just draw a cool profile, you give them a couple funny lines that define them, and then you can move on to the next one. We don't need them more than that.
No, we don't.
There's no point. Meanwhile, over here with the Cape comics, every single one of them eventually gets their own book.
Mm-hmm. They're two different animals. They're two completely different organisms. I don't think that they're even comparable, which is why it's so interesting and often catastrophic when the two groups try and reference each other. Because, on one hand, we get My Hero Aka in Japan, and then on the other hand, we get the early 2000s Teen Titans cartoon, which is just straight up wearing its Japanese fetishism on its sleeve.
I thought you were going to say Wonder Man, which premiered just a little while ago. Speaking of premieres.
They went through with that, huh?
It's all the way out. I think.
Yeah.
I think that was one of the ones where they dropped everything.
Real tough time to be putting out stuff based off of Neil Gaiman works.
Wonder Man, who was there? Anyone crying out for that? Anyone?
Well, again, Neil Gaiman fans before all of the allegations.
It's a bad time for a lot of people.
I know.
This fucking Masters of the Universe movie coming out. I think Jared Leto is in that. If I am not mistaken, I believe they cast Jared Leto.
Who keeps letting Jared Leto into stuff? And I don't get his appeal. And again, we live in a walled off internet. Everybody has their own little algorithm based bubbles. Echo chambers that is their internet these days. But from my experience, everyone seems to recognize that he's a weird creep and not that great of an actor. And so it's weird to see him keep popping up everywhere, because which producer is saying, yes, Jared Leto is the guy that we gotta get? Is he cheap? Is he cheap to work with?
No, he's not cheap. Maybe he's a Scientologist.
Oh.
Because they'll just throw those guys in anything.
That's true. I feel like the only argument I have against him being a Scientologist is that he already has his own island-based cult that he runs himself. So I don't think the higher-ups would appreciate the competition.
Well, listen to this headline from Deadline.
Headline from Deadline?
Headline from Deadline. Masters of the Universe director calls Jared Leto's Skeletor the embodiment of toxic masculinity.
I fucking hate
this
movies.
Movie's gonna suck, bro.
I hate Hollywood. I hate movies. I hate... Oh my god.
Shit, man. It's like that Yakuza headline that just came out. The story about the director of Yakuza 3 who cast the sexual predator as the bad guy in that game. And when questioned about it, he said, well, we cast him because he had like a slimy aura.
Yeah, he looked like a creep.
We kind of got like a rapist vibe off that guy, so we put him in the game. I was like, dude, so you at the time you knew, or at least had an inkling, right?
Hey, that is called inspired casting. Okay, that casting director should get an award.
Yeah, Yakuza Kiwami 3 seems, let's say, troubled.
Well, it's a weird dichotomy, right, to do that for the sexual predator one, but then to go back and erase a different actor from the series because he was arrested for doing cocaine. What are the priorities here, guys? What's the thought process? I'd really like to have that one explained to me.
That was crazy because they literally redid and re-recorded all the lines from what was that game? Justice?
Something like that. Oh.
Yeah.
The spin-off game.
I can't remember. What was that game called? I never played it.
Judgment.
Because I don't want to play. I don't want to play as a cock. Judgment.
Yeah, Judgment, yes.
Yeah, I don't want to play as a cop, especially in the Yakuza universe, Mm-hmm. It seems like not cool.
Well, it's not cool to play as a cop in any situation. It's kind of a buzzkill, Yeah. It brings about bad times, bad feelings when you're playing a cop.
It is bad vibes. It is bad vibes. Not a lot of games where the main character is a cop. It's actually not that many.
Max Payne was a cop.
He was a detective. You get more detectives. There's a lot of games where you play as detectives, but not that many.
You play as a detective in Judgment.
Yes.
So, and the sequel, Lost Judgment. Let's not forget that.
Lost Judgment, of course. Wait, was he not he wasn't a public prosecutor or something? I don't know. You play as a cop in Detroit Become Human, which is one of the least problematic elements of that game.
I'm having a hard time thinking of any other examples, which just goes to prove that the universe bends towards anti-cop. If we're trying to put a name on it. They say the universe bends towards justice. No, that's not true. It bends towards anti-cop.
If anime and video games are our dominant cultural mode right now, then it seems to be kind of the way.
Yeah.
It might be true. Lots of child soldiers, but we think that's bad.
It's usually presented as bad, except for the part where being a child soldier gives the player the baseline skills they need for being a badass later in life. Metal Gear Solid.
Unfortunately, they all are portrayed as super cool. Like in Naruto, the child soldiers all have incredibly super cool, dope moves.
But they also have superpowers,
and they all get to go out and be cops.
The politics of Naruto is a whole different thing. I'm not exactly sure what how their governmental system works, because they seem to be essentially a collection of military feudal states that are always in constant low level conflict with each other.
Yeah, you got it.
That's about it.
You nailed it.
Okay. Oh, all right.
Correct.
All right. No. All right. Okay. So I do get Naruto.
That's it.
Okay. All right.
Actually, if we want to get technical, Naruto starts in an era where there have been a bunch of peace treaties signed between the various clans. So conflict is actually supposed to be kept at a minimum. And then that first major battle in Naruto with the the denounced Water Clan guy was like a big political incident, right?
Right.
It's like it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. And then eventually they all unite against the moon goddess, which again, I will never stop saying is the most insane thing that people don't talk about Naruto. They do not mention the fucking war against the moon goddess.
Oh, man, imagine.
I feel like that would be a thing to talk about.
Well, you say that, but I feel like we are, like, in America right now, maybe just a couple days away from the government announcing that we are, in fact, going to war against the moon.
We will be invading the moon.
Yeah, it does not feel out of the realm of possibility.
We're going. And James Bond will have to stop it. Yeah,
we're gonna take over the moon. We need the moon's resources. It's gonna be ours. The moon is American. We need it for American security.
All we can hope is that the moon goddess is strong enough to fight off a coup.
Oh man, okay, we've strayed. Let's go back here. I was trying to get us, onto the path of talking about the anime that have come out in winter 2026.
Okay,
these current anime.
Right.
Yes, in 2026
the current anime.
winter.
We've both watched a couple more premieres. We got another 2 off the list.
So, I was going to suggest, maybe we could do the good one first and then the bad one. But then it turns out that we both watched bad ones. So I guess I'll just bite the bullet and get the worst one, by my reckoning, out of the way here.
Hey, that's a big assumption.
Well, okay, maybe we can compare at the end and see which one is actually worse. Because I watched Wash It All Away, which is, as you so eloquently put it before we started recording, the horny laundry anime.
Horny
laundry anime. This is, I think that explains it pretty well.
It's a horny laundry anime.
It's about a young woman who runs her own independent laundry business in a small rural town in Japan. And yeah, that's about it.
That's it.
Yeah.
And she's hot?
She is hot, but
That's
actually
kind of
it's funny. It's funny that you describe it as the horny laundry anime, because that's the way a lot of trailers have portrayed it, and that's definitely there. Don't get me wrong. It is not the horniest anime on the market right now by a far shot. So I suppose It's got that going for it. It's not great though. I watched the first episode, and it is essentially it should be retitled as yes, in fact, I do dream of labor, because the entire premise of the show is this lady going about her day, collecting laundry from, her customers in this small town, and basically just reiterating the point over and over again, how awesome it is to have a job, and how much she loves working, and how she's always thinking about work, and how she doesn't have time for a social life or to do fun stuff, because that would just take away from all the fun that she's having at her job.
She enjoys doing the laundry.
She loves it. She's a fucking laundry pervert. And I do mean that literally. There are a couple situations where she literally seems sexually ecstatic at the thought of being able to do laundry. It is a very weird cross section of bad labor propaganda and traditional gender roles, because, mind you, she gets very excited about getting to do the laundry of a cute boy. If you couldn't guess.
A cute boy.
Yeah. And I do mean boy. She is probably, about 25, I would have to guess. And she, right off the fucking bat in the show, she has some kind of weird infatuation with this tall, handsome high school student. that comes in to get his school uniform washed at her shop, which is weird. I don't like that. I don't like it one bit. It is not great. And she isn't like super aggressive about it, but she does that, like, you know, demure kind of like anime protagonist flirting thing, and gets all, you know, embarrassed and red-faced at the thought of washing his pants.
Oh.
So it's weird. It's yeah. I did not like this one bit, and it really, you know, it brought up a lot of thoughts in my head about the general attitude towards like labor and jobs in anime, and this like underlying this underlying kind of like structural belief that a lot of anime espouse, which is like work for the sake of working is a virtue. Like, you've noticed that, right?
Well, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
In fact, so much drama is about people losing their job.
Their job that they hated.
Lost their job. Yeah. Sometimes it's a job that they hated, or sometimes it's like, oh, this job made me feel useful to society.
Yes.
And now, because of the machinations of money men, I am being pushed out into either just straight up like homelessness or retirement.
Yeah.
And they hate that. Mm-hmm. Even though the job seems like it fucking sucks.
Or even more commonly, the job doesn't matter. It is the role and position they embodied within the job that they are mourning a loss of.
Oh, yeah, email jobs all over the place.
Yeah, yes. And it's just, I don't get it. I've had plenty of jobs in my life, and I've never liked any of them that much. The one that I currently, use to live has been incredibly tolerable over the years, and I appreciate that very much so. But I don't like having a job. Like I don't. Yeah. Conceptually,
you just
it
need
sucks.
Money.
Yeah, I just need money. It's just like, if someone would just give me money.
It's the money.
He's doing the hand thing. That means money.
It's the money. It's the money thing that you like. It reminds me of the thing. A lot of people say this. I feel like less so these days, so maybe we're starting to catch on. But, you know, the classic canard of if you do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life. And guess what? That's complete fucking bullshit.
Oh, no, it sucks.
Because if you do what you love, it turns into a job, and then you resent what you love.
That's what so my family, I enjoy cooking as a hobby. I cannot go to a family holiday gathering without someone saying, like, oh, you should open up your own restaurant. And I'm like, have you ever seen what the back end of a restaurant is like?
The most nightmarish possible scenario you can imagine.
Yeah. Why would I do that? I enjoy making like good food, and then I enjoy sitting down and eating it, which is the whole reason that I made it.
Yeah, restaurant running is so awful that there is an entire show called Kitchen Nightmares making fun of the people that try to do it.
You don't even
have its own genre.
Even shows that glorify running a restaurant, like The Bear, make it look like a nightmarish hellhole that no one should ever want to work in. Like, those people are not happy people with themselves or their lives. And it's like a repeated point that they destroy themselves both physically and financially to run a restaurant.
Yes.
Like, I just have to be like, yeah, you know, it's not for me. I just, and then I, take a big drink of whatever I have in my hand at the time.
Bleach.
Yeah. Hold on, I gotta go to the bathroom to get some bleach.
This is why I counter you're not so horny, because honestly, the only way to truly describe it to make sense of it is if she is a massive pervert for this shit.
Which he is. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got to be it. That's the only explanation.
You know, if the tone of the show is made most explicit in the scene where the high school boy comes in and she notices that he has a scuff on his shoe. And so without prompt, she literally gets down on her knees with her head at his crotch level and starts buffing his shoes for him. And then on top of that, she doesn't even charge him for it. She says, I enjoyed doing that, so it's no problem.
Oh.
And it's just like, oh, man.
Peasant mindset.
Yes, it's a peasant mindset.
Mindset.
Like, oh, you enjoy being a fucking serf. So, yeah, that was Wash It All Away. The horny laundry anime.
Let me ask you some questions.
Yeah.
Let's establish some things. First of all, so she's a small business owner, right?
Correct.
Does she have any like contracts with the local school where she does like all the uniforms, or with like a local factory? I assume she lives in a small town.
She lives in a very small town, and. Like, by small town, they haven't really, it's only been one episode, so the narrative hasn't had time to really explore the setting for the audience yet, because I'm sure that they're going to be real big on world building in the horny laundry anime.
Yeah.
But, no, it does not seem like she has any major contracts. The first episode is following her through a typical day in her work life, and she seems to spend most of her day, you know, at least the entire morning, if not more, doing personal deliveries to clients. So she probably only gets, you know, maybe 5 or 6 actual transactions per day, which I don't know. I don't know what the dividends are, what the overhead is on running a laundromat.
Well, hold on. That brings us to the next question. What is her setup?
It's essentially a single room. She has a front-facing area where customers come in with the, you know, and she has a counter, and then she's got a back room with a washer and dryer combo, not even two separate units.
Okay, all right. Because I was going to say, what you're describing sounds a little bit more like dry cleaning services than it would be like traditional washing. Because a dry cleaning service, you have like one guy at a counter. He takes your clothes. You come back like in a few days. He gives you your clothes back. That's like an actual business.
Yeah, but dry cleaning, you have to have a lot of equipment. You know, you have a big machine that you use to dry clean the clothes, and generally that's why they have that big automated rack, you know, that they can grab all of the orders off of. No, she is grabbing individual people's laundry from their house, taking it to her shop, washing it for them, and then delivering it back to them the next morning.
That seems incredibly inefficient.
That's what I'm saying. The money doesn't make sense. It's not adding up for me to where she can afford both an apartment where she lives herself, because she goes to work. She's not like live above her job. She does not live in the same space, which you would think, you know, that's how you save money, right? But no, she has her own apartment, and she commutes on her bike across town to the laundry shop, picking up orders along the way, and then she goes in and then stands at her counter and then goes home at night.
Yeah, this seems like a really bad business plan. Like, this must be some kind of like drug front or something, you know? Does she sell guns on the side?
If this goes off the rails and she's like, and this ends up being an actual front, that would be the best twist, like, that I could possibly hope for.
Be so cool.
But I don't think that's what's going to happen. I think probably what's going to happen is she's going to keep doing the laundry, and then just like in the first episode, we're going to have like a bunch of disconnected scenes of her being really happy to do labor for people. And then at the end of the episode, she goes to the local hot spring, and then we get, like a pervy shot of her half naked inside of the hot spring.
Yeah, the perv shit.
Yeah, which is, they did that. I don't want to leave that out. They did that.
They did do that.
They did do that.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't think that's going to happen.
That's a real shame. Here's another twist, because here's a connection, right? So very famously, before Stephen King became good in his youth, he worked at a laundry factory, right?
Before his heart grew 3 sizes that day.
Yes. This was a really traumatizing experience for him, and he ended up writing The Mangler. Right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Which is the nightmare flipped version of this, which is about labor relations. Very specifically, it's about labor relations, right?
Yeah.
And the movie is, first of all, the movie is great.
Oh, man, it's one of my favorite Robert Englund roles.
It's one of the best Stephen King adaptations, and it is just a straight-up good movie. And the movie itself is about, specifically, the labor relation between the people who do the laundry and the people who own the business, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's very specific and very political.
And the machine that eats the people.
Yes, well, and the machine that eats people, yes. But, in typical fashion, even though a younger Steve might reject it, the machine itself is a central metaphor of what labor does to the body, right?
Yeah, yes.
It's trying to express an idea that the kind of work it takes, especially for that factory in the Mangler, because they do have contracts with factories, right? They are constantly pressing factory uniforms. So the thing is running all the time. They work day and night, and it is like kind of destroying the people that do it.
Yeah.
So the machine itself is just kind of accelerating the process. By eating people. It's awesome. It's awesome. But that is like in direct conversation with this, because that has incredibly pointed criticism of the way that domestic labor gets, no pun intended, laundered through these systems where we take it out of sight, right?
Yeah.
It has very pointed criticism of the way that labor functions in the laundry industry and who owns it, who benefits from it, right? Who it punishes. And it specifically very de-romanticizes the entire process. Nobody there is horny, right? They're miserable.
Well, I mean, Robert Englund was a little bit, but he was on the bad side.
Well, yeah, Robert Englund was the bad guy. I mean, he is very bad. Ted Levine is the hero of the movie, who also great performance from Ted Levine. He is so fantastic. Talking about detectives, he's just this like beat down fucking asshole. Who just like hates his life. He's lost his wife, she's dead, and he's like gets wrapped up in this thing, and he has to like suddenly late in life he has to start believing in like spiritual possessions, and he loses at the end too. He fucking gets his ass kicked. Which is just great. And I feel like this is a direct conversation you can have between this show, which kind of glorifies this nonsense, and The Mangler, which very, very pointedly tries to make a commentary on the labor of laundry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, well, this show, which is basically, like you said, the opposite, this is showing the... It
fetishizes the labor.
Yeah, this is claiming the fetishized version of the small town, business owner who everybody greets with a smile as they ride their bike, through the pastoral landscape on their way to work in the morning.
Yes.
This is. It's applying this kind of like nostalgic old world view of jobs like baker or
milkman,
to something
Milk
that
person.
is the result of modernization, which is the fact that people live in apartments so small that they can't do their own laundry. Like, they're not equipped to clean their own clothes at home.
Yeah.
So they have to take it to a person to do it.
Yeah, so like laundromats don't exist here.
But I don't know that for sure. It would be very funny if she was just subletting all of her work to the laundromat. Like, she collects people's clothes, overcharges them, and then just takes it to the laundromat and does it
She's
super
just
cheaply.
She's bilking these people. Yeah. She really would be a milkman in that scenario.
Yeah. So that's wash it all away. I think that
hold on. One more question.
Oh, you have another question? Okay. All right.
One more question. How's it look?
It looks... I'm trying to think of a way to say this because it doesn't look like bad. It's not an ugly or badly animated show, but my experience...
It's not slop.
But my experience is that these types of shows tend to get a disproportionately large animation budget compared to action-based stuff, which is something I brought up either last episode or the one before it. And this is not doing that. This is a just middle-of-the-road kind of like B-tier production, AA anime quality. It's fine. It's okay. Yeah. It is not like, say, You and I Are Polar Opposites, which apparently had some kind of dark money injection go into the animation budget because it looks fucking good.
Some secret billionaire was like funding that production.
It's got to be this one.
This is mine. This is the one.
So yeah, I guess I'm happy that it doesn't look that good. Because that would really really kill things for me. Like, this one got the fucking animation.
Yeah.
No, it's fine.
This is the one.
Yeah, no, it's
okay.
Totally unremarkable.
Sure,
is a great way to put it.
Does it compare to like the rock one, the geology one?
No, that one looked better than this.
That one looked better than this. Okay.
Yeah, that was one of the ones that had juice in it.
Okay. All right. Okay, then I have a good picture of it. Okay.
Yeah. No.
Wow.
Think of it. Compare it more to like later season Kaguya quality.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
So
depressing.
It's fine. Yeah. Depressing overall.
There's a market for these shows and I just don't get it.
I mean, being a pervert myself, like, I get it. Just this one isn't marketing to my particular interests, so I feel okay with disparaging it.
Do you think there's a lot of laundry perverts who really relate?
I don't know if it's laundry specific, but like I tried to get at earlier, I think that the character dynamics that they're setting up for this character and like the people that she interacts with is very, very reinforcing of like traditional feminine gender roles. They're really not trying to hide that one. They are quite literally trying to make the act of domesticity be like a sexual quality for her, which I find like pretty gross and disgusting.
Yeah.
That really sucks. That really sucks. This show really sucks. I'm going to say that definitively. This show's bad. Like really, really bad morally at its core. Like its message is bad.
It's rancid and it's bad for culture.
Yes. Yeah. Do not recommend. Don't watch it. This one sucks.
Okay. All right. I'm not gonna.
I know you were gonna, but now
you
shouldn't, is what I'm saying.
Now I'm not. I've changed my mind. I'm not gonna do that.
But you must have watched something good, right?
No, unfortunately, I don't mean to spoil it, but I'm also not going to be watching the rest of what I got into. I'm one undone on this one. I think I get it. I don't find it as socially repugnant, though it's funny because it also does have a labor connection.
Right. Okay. So why don't you say the title, because we both talked about being interested in this one. And I do find the labor connection of the premise an interesting, like, crossover point.
Yes, this is Gomon Baito Kun no Nichijo, the daily life of a part-time torturer.
Yes.
Now, right off the bat, this is a little misleading because he's not part-time.
Oh, he does it full-time.
So we're already being lied to. He does it full-time. In fact, he gives a sort of a truncated speech about his past employment opportunities, and he isn't doing anything else at the moment. He specifically says that he's finally found a job that he enjoys, and he does it every day, and he is fully employed. So we are being lied to right off the bat. I don't understand
well,
it.
hold on. Maybe this is like one of those scummy things where he only gets he's there every day, but he only gets scheduled for 35 hours a week, so he counts as part-time.
Sure.
You know, he's below the threshold for getting benefits.
Yeah, that's possible. He could be on paper, he is a contractor. Which, you know, you'd think of all companies to be scummy, a torture company has high potential.
Well, sure, yeah. And, you know, I feel like 1099 workers, they're just rife for exploitation in fields like that.
Yes. So let's start with the job aspect of this, because I think this is kind of the right way to jump in here.
I haven't watched this, but let me ask you this to start off regarding the job. Is this setting, is the world that, you know, we're jumping into here, is this one of those ones where, like, torturing in this example is kind of like one of those mundane things to people? Like, it was my feeling from the trailer that he, you know, there are like essentially various torture companies, and it's just kind of like a job that you go to, right?
Yes, this is an established profession.
Yeah.
I'm sure we're going to get introduced to a rival company at some point, right? That's usually how these work.
Yeah.
Because this is very much like an ironic slice of life show, right? So we have, you know, essentially like there is a public blog that talks about like the up and coming torturers and like the top kind of celebrity torturers, which is one of our characters here. He is considered one of the best in the industry. We have very casual walk-in shops that sell torture devices.
Okay.
And you might think like, oh, it's like kind of like a bondage, like a sex store, like a dungeon or whatever.
That's where my mind went, yes.
Yes. No. Not that.
No, not
it
that.
is specifically like trade tools. It is an industry store.
Okay. All right. So
one of the first shots of the show is a guy being tortured, and he is just inexplicably just straight up like in a gimp suit. But I think maybe the show doesn't really understand like bondage kink, because it does not really get into that, and that's not part of like the ironic torturing part.
Right. Well, I guess I need to clarify then, like, all right, who are the clients? Like, are these like corporations and they're hiring torturers to get information out of like rival companies? Like, are people... No.
Not that. No.
Not okay.
Now this is a very unfortunate part, and again, I really cannot tell. how ironic it is trying to be, because it is either like so dry and underhanded that I'm not even like picking it up completely, which would be very sophisticated. Because obviously I'm a very sophisticated media literate person.
No, yeah, you're really smart. You've got the media literacy.
Yeah, easy. This is obviously my area of expertise.
Yeah.
So which leads me to believe that maybe this is just one of those things where the implications aren't completely thought out, like, 3 moves ahead, because this show is trying to be funny with the idea that a simple slice of life work comedy is about torturers. It's a very simple gag. But 2 things really stymie that. One, the show is really invested in you liking the characters, so we do not really ever explicitly get the grimy violence of the torture. It's always implied. Now, it is heavily implied. There are scenes where, the characters are covered in blood. They do threaten people with instruments of torture, right? But we do not get into the, the hostile, actual physical violence. They maintain a distance from that because, again, they don't really have the guts to make you uncomfortable with these people.
They're not trying to go full exploitation on this one.
No, this is not a horror show, despite the torture, the gruesome torture. It really tries to play, it tries to take a corner around that, despite it being the core of the show. Obviously, we have to get a little bit of it. There's just no way to completely get around it, but we're clipping around the edges. Because at the end of the day, we're supposed to like these characters. Now, the second point is the politics of this, which seems to be that, again, since they cannot fully make you uncomfortable with these people, it is established early on that they're the good guys, and the people that they torture are the bad guys. They only torture bad people, and they seem to do this. Now, this is not explicit, but it is heavily implied that they do this for the government.
Well, sure. I'm pretty sure that would be a pretty lucrative contract. If you're in that kind of business.
Yes, they operate, essentially, it seems like, as an extension of the law, wherein there's some sort of gray area. And this is a big thing, too, because they are not even explicitly torturers. We are also being lied to there. They are explicitly positioned as interrogators.
Yes.
Their job is to extract information as efficiently as possible from quote-unquote bad people who are being given to them, handed over seemingly by federal prosecutors who need to extract confessions, or as is posited sometimes in the first episode, locations of hostages or stolen material, right? These are the things that they're extracting from people.
I hate that. That sucks.
It's funny because despite the show very clearly not wanting to make us uncomfortable with the idea of these people torturing, by spinning this complicated, overcomplicated political explanation, it actually, when you get down to it, and again, do the media literacy thing where you do a reading of it, it is actually more nefarious and putrid than I think they ever intended it to be.
I mean, we're getting we're already past the 24. We need enhanced interrogation justification like with
we
this.
are many years out of Abu Ghraib.
Yeah.
You know, Guantanamo has happened. We as a culture have tried to ingest that. We did. I don't know of how successful we are. It seems like not particularly, but it's, you know, these are images that exist within popular culture. And again, maybe these are the kinds of things that did not penetrate in Japan, though I'm sure they circulated on 2chan or whatever, right? They must have.
Yeah.
Because snuff is popular with, you know, edgelords everywhere in the world. But they are not engaging in post 9/11 style enhanced interrogation culture. In fact, the only connection they're making seems to be completely by mistake. You know, when you think about the way that thousands and thousands of cases are processed in America, where it is revealed that police extorted confessions from innocent people in order to close like a murder case or an assault case or whatever, putting these innocent people in jail. And again, on the Japanese side, knowing that public prosecutors have supposedly a 99% success rate.
Well, okay. I understand where you're going with this. And it's still baffling to me that this show can come out and have such a lukewarm reactionary take on this whole thing. We don't even have to go all the way back to 24 in American attitudes towards torture and the police state. You know, we live in a world where Phoenix Wright is one of Capcom's most successful IPs, with the entire premise being, hey, the Japanese justice system is actually really like dumb and bad, and it's full of idiots and evil people. And yet we're still getting counter takes like this coming out. It's baffling. It's baffling to me because you brought up the 99% prosecution rate thing, which is something that the creator of Phoenix Wright explicitly states as inspiration for creating the series. It's like, hey, what if they lived in a dystopian world where public defenders are underfunded and the justice system railroads people through as fast as they can to make numbers look good on a spreadsheet? Yeah. What if that was the case?
Yeah. And I think there are, you know, in popular culture, there are people commenting on this kind of thing. I watched this Korean drama on Netflix that I found very interesting. About a woman who is essentially getting railroaded by a public prosecutor who is desperate to protect his reputation. There's a lot I could say about that show. I have a lot of thoughts about it. But one of the things that happens kind of near the middle is he really starts to understand that he's probably full of shit. And
am I the bad guy in this situation?
Yes. He just keeps going. He just keeps going up to the point where he would actually look like a dumbass for continuing to try to get this woman. And you know, this is a pretty big show on Netflix. This is maybe not making a huge cultural impact, but it is a big Korean drama. And like I said before, I think mostly this show is engaging with that stuff by accident, mainly because it just I can imagine the people writing the show are like, it's just a joke. Don't think about it. We didn't, right?
Yeah.
Because the majority of the show is sort of like these characters in a warm workplace environment, supporting each other, being welcome around each other, improving each other's lives by being, you know, friendly. And there is like a very weird, subtle homoerotic undertone to everything that happens as well.
Interesting.
They're all kind of like constantly admiring each other's like physical beauty. It's very strange. And, you know, the main character is sort of like the happy-go-lucky underachiever who has found his calling, right? And he's kind of like plucky and determined to like make this one work. And his senpai is a very cool and detached, super professional who nevertheless shows his employees, you know, warmth in the ways that he's comfortable doing. They have an over-enthusiastic shorty, you know.
Sure.
And the timid, like, socially anxious guy who covers his face because he's too beautiful. Those are the 4 core cast members. And they introduce more and more people as it goes along. But those are our 4 cast members, kind of all being friendly and supporting each other and, like, enjoying each other's companies. And having fun little, like, daily life interactions with each other. And then punctuated every once in a while by these scenes of them threatening people with torture devices. That is the show.
Yeah. I mean, that's very clearly... That's the kind of show that you make when you just have a fundamentally authoritarian mindset, I think. You know, it is a classic example of ends justify the means thinking. I mean, I think that's just kind of the simple end of it.
I disagree. I don't think this is emblematic of some kind of authoritarianism. I think this is emblematic of a common disconnection from the ability to think about reality and consequences, right? I think a lot of people live without ever examining the assumptions that they have, without acknowledging that they exist within a world with conflicting ideologies. And they essentially do not believe that they themselves hold an ideology about the world. And when you do that, you make the mistake of perpetuating those assumptions you make about the world into the work you create. This is something that a lot of people don't want to think about. When you talk about shows and movies and things, and you get quote unquote political about them, one of the biggest rebukes from people will be like, it's not that deep, right? That like you're reading too far into this. That's not what it's about. And you have to kind of break it down. Like it doesn't matter what it is about. It is about what it communicates through its visual language and its assumptions and assertions about its own world, right?
Oh wow! Did you just invent death of the author philosophy? Did you just create that by yourself?
It is an incredibly simplistic modern reading and a modern technique of reading literature. This is like literally intro stuff. It is not complicated, but it is something, even that level of modern critique is not something that most people want to engage in, right? When you talk to Lord of the Rings people and you say like this shit is making really weird assertions about race, which is one of the most basic and long-held like critiques of Lord of the Rings. A lot of people would be like, I don't want to look at Lord of the Rings like that, you know? And it's like, whatever. Everybody has the freedom to make readings as they like, but denying that reading exists is ridiculous.
Yeah,
and denying the reading that this is like a show that, you know, is making an assertion about the world where torture is an effective method of extracting information from quote unquote bad people, and asserting that with, you know, again, no evidence and no interest, no intellectual curiosity about exploring that idea. You know, it is sending out into the world the idea that like torture is a thing that can lead to confessions. Even if the entire thing is obviously like a joke. The idea that like torture is not supposed to be taken seriously at all. It is literally just, I guess, gap moe, whatever, right?
Well,
Cute boys
that's what
who
I'm
do a bad thing.
Getting tripped up on here, because it's not making that assertion that torture is like, it's not making this assertion of gap, between torture being wrong and them doing it as as something that gets results and is good. Like, the joke, from what I can see, is that torture is just like a boring job that these guys have to do. The torture itself appears to be, at best, morally like neutral, and at worst, like you were saying, something that is completely condoned and presented as effective and like a good way to get results.
Yes. Well, when I say like that it is because the show, again, asserts that it is 100% effective.
Yeah.
These guys are good at their job. They get results every time because torture works in this universe.
That's fucked up.
And yes, it is fucked up. But they would be like, that's not what this show's about. It's just about what if like cute boys did gross things. And again, like the laundry show, as this goes along, maybe it becomes more convoluted. Maybe it complicates its own premise and it asks those questions. And we have to sit with the uncomfortable parts of the story. But I'm going to go ahead and guess from what I saw that it does not do that. And in fact, it becomes more about cute boys having relationships with each other.
Yeah, same thing for the laundry show. I think we can safely file these together in that same category. I don't think that it's going to get much more complicated with its own reading of itself. No. So I'm going to take it at face value for what it's told me so far, which is that torture is good and we should all enjoy doing manual labor because it's the only thing that brings inner peace and satisfaction.
Well, and again, when the very small bits of violence do occur, it's not like it is framed as heroic. They do frame it as like, mundane. This is a bad thing. It is still violence at the end of the day. But yes, when we extrapolate it and read it in that way, it is very gross. It is also one of those things where like I don't think any of these characters are ever explicitly going to be gay. They're just gonna like dance around the sort of vaguely homoerotic subtext.
Sure,
So there's also that aspect to it.
I mean, that's all the rage these days. A lot of Yuri stuff that falls in that category as well.
Oh, sure. This is not a novel concept. I'm just saying that is also an element of this show that is disappointing. Maybe they get explicitly gay later on. Again, I doubt it. That doesn't seem to be the way that they're going with this. This is a daily life show.
Wow, that really sucks. I got one final question for you. How does it look?
Boring. Doesn't look great.
Yeah?
Yeah. The only visual flair we ever get is a slight skewing when torture is happening. It makes a little bit of an effort to make that visually distinct from the rest of the show, but it's honestly not great either. It is also kind of boring. It does not go as hard as something that was really interesting in shocking us could do. It does not do anything particularly interesting at all. So, low mids.
Wow. All right.
Great. What a waste of time.
0-2 for this episode.
0-2.
Really like it when that happens. Okay. Well, hopefully, next week will be better because we still got some premieres to get through, even though we're just about hitting the halfway point of this season right now. I still got some stuff on my list that I am just so hoping is going to be better than the horny laundry anime. That's all I can ask for at this point.
Yeah, I've got more shows to talk about. We'll get to them. What I wanted to prioritize, though, were the shows where I haven't read the manga or, in one case, played the game. So I think I'm running out of those now.
So we're already scraping the bottom of the barrel.
Great. Anime.
Great. All right.
Yay. More anime.
Beautiful, tall, handsome listeners. Enough listening to us talk about bad anime. Don't watch these ones. Go watch the good ones that we've talked about. They're out there. You can get our opinions on which are the good ones, and that's what you should be spending your time on.
Yeah. Also, I just want to shout out, sorry to that guy that left a YouTube comment 3 months ago that I finally got around to replying.
Oh shit! Really?
So, yeah. Well, try to get a little bit better about that.
Turn on notifications.
Yeah. Hey, shout outs to you. Name I don't remember.
All right. I think that's it. Go do the stuff. I got subscribe. You got nothing left? I got nothing left.
Leave comments that we won't respond to.
Yeah. No, we will. We will respond to them.
We will. Oh, yeah. Sorry. Yeah, we will respond to them.
And we will be back again next week with some more anime death spiral. Bye.
Bye. What is VR but transhumanism? You get to be whatever I want.